Come with me as I turn this closet into something that's way more functional with built-in cabinets that I built all myself. This project would have cost thousands, but it didn't cost me that much because I did it all myself. I started by removing all that flooring. Not that it wasn't pretty or in good shape, but I was wanting to do tile all throughout this closet and leading into the master bathroom once I got to that project. So we removed everything from this closet and started from scratch. Here I'm putting a moisture barrier, which is that black tarp, because the moisture can seep up from the concrete into the wood and that can cause rot over time. And then I created a 2x4 base and started building my cabinets from scratch. Luckily, I realized before I started putting the cabinets together out in the garage that they wouldn't fit through the door. So I had to build all of these gigantic cabinets inside the closet, which wasn't an easy task. That is 6 cabinets that I had to build in here, and they were all about 8 foot tall. And then we had this crazy idea to make this closet a little bit smaller by building a wall 18 inches out from the back. This will make more sense than a little bit. Also, I'm stubborn and didn't want to wait for my husband to get home to help me set these up. They were very heavy and I ended up hurting my hand a little bit. But trust me, it's all going to be totally worth it in the end. And then I got this wood beadboard paneling for the back because I wanted it stained and not painted, so that's why I'm using the wood ones instead of the white ones that you can buy. Now, I'm going to be real, as I'm looking back on this project, I would just skip this beadboard part and just use flat panels because you can't really see it through the clothes. And it was a huge pain in the ass to stain all of that beadboard in the little grooves. Now, on the left side of this closet, the ceiling curves down, so I had to make these cabinets on this side a little bit shorter, but I didn't want to waste all that space, so I made those little cubbies up top. And then on the left side is shoe storage because behind that door, it can't be used as a full cabinet. And then it was time to add drywall to that 2x4 wall I built. And you can see I cut out a door there. And here's the part that I was talking about. Staining that was such a huge pain, especially with the water-based stain that I used that dried really quickly. And then for the part that I'm completely terrible at is matching the orange peel texture that's on my walls already. I thought I did an okay job, but then you could see the bubble on the tape, so I had to replace all that. And then I thought it would be a great idea to wallpaper the ceiling. My husband was an unwilling participant in that, but he's a good sport, and then he helped me hang the light, and about that time, he realized that he was supposed to put that whole light together before hanging it. It did not say that in the directions. It took me several days to stain all of this closet because it was a huge pain, and I needed breaks. But this is what we're looking like so far. It's really coming together. And of course I had to put crown molding at the top because that makes it all look built in and custom, right? I mean, look how gorgeous that looks. And I do love the wallpaper, even though it was a pain. Now, if you haven't guessed it yet, this was a hidden area that we're adding to the back of our closet, so I needed to frame all of that out. And if you're wondering what we're going to put in there, just open your mind. We live in Texas, and what do you think we have a lot of? My neighbor gave me this old mirror that was just the mirror part, so I built a frame for it and a backing, and then we put a piano hinge on it so that it could hover from that wall. This thing was heavy, and I used a 70-inch piano hinge that's heavy duty. I was so nervous this wasn't going to work, but I didn't know what other kind of hinge to use. And now I can tell you that this piano hinge was perfect because it's been a few years, and it still swings so smoothly. And more staining, and then we framed out this mirror and I painted it black and then added gold so it could look antique. And then we put some tactical wall panels on the inside of this closet area so that we can hang our pew-pews. And then it was time to address those floors. We found this tile from Riad Tile, and it's a hexagon ceramic and it's actually super durable. But I would not recommend starting out with hexagon if you're a beginner because that was really hard to work with. Now, if you notice the orange underlayment, that is the Schluter system, and it helps with waterproofing, and it helps if your flooring isn't completely even. It also helps your tile stick really well. Then after figuring out that I didn't want a light grout, I ended up going with a darker grout. Now, after living with this mirror gold for a few days, I realized the color was way too close to the cabinet, so I ended up painting it Accessible Beige by Sherwin-Williams. And I feel like it looks so much better in here. And then it was time to address the drawers. I have built my own drawers before, but I ended up going with the cabinet door store in here because I wanted the experience of ordering drawers from a company because not all of y'all know how to make drawers, and I wanted to show y'all what my experience was like with them. I did end up having to cut one of the drawers down because of something I didn't anticipate. The mirror got in the way of the full drawer coming out, so it needed to be more of a short drawer. I did build my own drawer fronts though, and they turned out pretty good. We did end up replacing the door in this closet because of a collaboration that I got to partner with Masonite, and they were amazing to partner with. I'm also reframing the door like I've done all of the doors in my house. Side note, I did have to put this drawer front on with magnets because when it opened with the mirror there. And as a reminder, this is what that closet looked like, and this is what it's looking like now. Can you even believe the difference? And like I said earlier, it's been a few years, and this whole closet's pretty much stayed organized aside from the shoe part, because I bought more shoes and that really wasn't enough shoe storage looking back. But you live, you learn. In our next house, I'll be sure to add more shoe storage. I never thought I would say that because I'm not really a shoe person. And you didn't really think you were going to get a tour of the hidden area, did you?